All right, what's up, guys? Derek here, aka Mr. Enchanted. Now, this morning we had some big news that came out in regards to the whole Disney Lorcana Melbourne scene, and this was posted on the official Discord server for Disney Lorcana, and it was that congratulations to Jesse Lentini for receiving a gold Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor serialized card for his performance at Disney Lorcana Challenge Melbourne. Now, this is something that I am incredibly happy about. Now, regardless of how you feel or what you think about the whole controversy surrounding Clement and Jesse, I was just really hoping that we got some type of justice for Jesse in the form of compensation. And I believe that Ravensburger got this one right. Giving Jesse a gold Mickey just seems right to me, because a gold Mickey can be worth anywhere from what, $10,000 to $20,000, depending on the quality of the card, and that could be life-changing money for someone. He could use that money for his family or whatever, right? And so I think that giving Jesse a golden Mickey was the right decision by Ravensburger, and I'm incredibly happy about that news this morning. Now, there was also an interesting article. Let me just pull this up right here, that one of my buddies posted in the Discord server, and it is the current state of play of Disney Lorcana. And if you scroll down, so right here, the Disney Lorcana Challenge Series, state of play. And if you go to right here, it says the World Championship invites. Now, I'll leave a link to this in the description down below. And as you can see, you have Ed, who won the Fort Worth. You had Fort Worth and the Continentals, the North American Championship, and all the other top 8 guys. And then you had the 2 pass downs. I guess this was from Zan and Ed, and all the other DLC winners. And of course, the European DLC champions who all got their invites. And then, this is the interesting part, if you scroll down to the Oceanic events, we have DKP, our Melbourne champion, and Ben Simmons going to Worlds, a Melbourne top 4 pass down. And so obviously what this means is that Clement's invite to Worlds has been stripped from him. And they passed it down to Ben Simmons, who I believe was the 3rd seed, and Jonathan Lamb was the 4th, I believe. So it sounds like no Clement and Worlds. Now, obviously, we're not going to know the full extent of the investigation that Ravensburger had or created, as they stated earlier that they weren't going to tell us the results. But obviously, based on this, if you just look right here, read right here, who are the 2 guys from Melbourne that are going to Worlds? And it's DKP finished 1st, and Ben Simmons, who was top 4. He was the Amber Steel player. And so Clement is no longer here. And so this is something that, again, regardless of how you feel about Clement or about the whole controversy, things just weren't looking good for Ravensburger when it comes to this whole Clement situation. Because not only did you have this controversial incident happen on camera in the DLC in a top 8 match, but also Clement, and also I didn't really explain this in the previous video, but Clement is a known cheater in our game. He is someone who admitted to cheating for stacking his deck in an online tournament, and even had, I believe he made a public post asking for forgiveness from the community. And I remember something about he let his dad down, or he felt bad about how his dad felt about the whole situation. He promised to do better. And at the time, I had no idea who Recklin was. He was some French player, and I was like, oh, okay. And I am all for forgiveness. People make mistakes. And so I didn't really think anything of it. And so not only you had that, but you had a bunch of French players also come out and talk about how Clement is banned from a bunch of their locals. So he can't even play in store set championships because of his, unfair play, I guess. And usually French players are really supportive of one another. They have a lot of those matching jerseys and clans or teams or whatever you want to call them. And everyone is just throwing the dude under the bus. So not only do we have him self-admitting that he was a cheater in our game, he's been banned from a bunch of locals, and now we have this incident at DLC Melbourne. And so it's just, there's just so many terrible things all going on at the same time in regards to Clement. Now, aside from that, the other factor that I really, really hope that Ravensburger figured out was the judges. So obviously we wanted compensation for Jesse. We wanted something to be done about Clement and his horrible, horrible history with cheating. But the judging situation, which enabled Clement to create this controversial judge call, what are we going to do? We need better judges, right? And so I was hoping Ravensburger would eventually make some decisions about an official judge program. I know a lot of people were calling for this. But what's interesting is if you scroll down in this document, it says, so what is next for the Disney Lorcana series? And if it's kind of cut off on my screen, but I'll read it out. And it says, behind the scenes, our small but passionate team is hard at work, regrouping and growing to support the future of Premier Play. From listening to all your feedback to analyzing our plans and processes, we've learned a lot during the first season. One of our key takeaways is a need for more centralized and timely communication with our play community. We're committed to providing clearer information about Disney Lorcana Challenge and other organized play programs, including having more details for entire seasons ready at the start. This level of transparency and planning is a priority as we look towards the World Championship and what comes next. We're taking a moment to regroup, hire more team members, and that's probably key, and build on everything you loved about the first year. This pause will allow us to craft a better premier event experience for everyone. We're incredibly excited about what's to come and are working diligently to plan the next season while making the Disney Lorcana World Championship an unforgettable event. We know you are eagerly awaiting information for the World Championships and the next season of the Challenge series. We're working as quickly as we can to finish designing these events, and we'll share the details once we have locked in the details. We thank you for your patience as we work to make this next season even better than the first. Thank you for being part of this magical journey. Together, we'll continue to grow and strengthen the Disney Lorcana community. Stay tuned, and thank you for your support. So man, big news right there. As you can see, I think the key thing or key sentence was hiring more team members. So does that mean putting more emphasis on the whole judging team, judging members, or whatever you want to call them, judging squad? So I'm incredibly excited about that, and mainly just improvements to our game, because there's so many things we can improve. Another big word there in that statement was transparency. I think this is something that all of us want. Right, especially when it even comes to things like Clement. I know Ravensburger says they're not going to release the details of their investigation, so we don't know why did they take Clement's Worlds invite away. We'll never know, right? Maybe there was something more to the story, and we're just going to have to guess for the time being. But I am someone who always believes in transparency. The more we know about our game, about our community, about the judges, about the hosts of the events, the better it is for us to have the best possible experience when we're spending our money and time and traveling to these massive events that we love. So this was incredibly exciting news for us this morning. And so just to recap, Jesse's getting a golden Mickey. Clement seems to no longer be going to Worlds, and Disney has a whole bunch of, or not Disney, Ravensburger has a whole bunch of plans in the works to hopefully improve our game. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.